I'm telling you, it just doesn't feel real. It does not feel like we're gonna wrap this up in this week and then next week. It just doesn't. But then we're on to part 6, and for part 6, I'm gonna record 2 halves of an episode. So one week you'll get one half, the next week you'll get the next half until we get to part 7. I am joking, by the way. Let's get into it. Hi, how's it going? Check out this thing. Greatly appreciate it. Consider liking, commenting, subscribing if you enjoy the content whatsoever. Hey, like it. That's it. Okay. Anyway, four episodes left.
そこにいたのですね、ボス。そんなところにそいつの体なんですね。眠くなって魂が引きずり出された瞬間。
So this is Doppio, right? This is Doppio talking, and he's like, so that's where you were, inside that body. So did he, I think I was right. I think he said it's still in there. But does that mean Doppio, this is Doppio dying? I hope not. Well, he's the bad guy, but like, I don't know. I don't want him to die like that. Oh my god. Is that just like, it could have just jammed, I guess, but like, I think this stand seems like the most defensive stand I think I have ever seen in my life. Oh. It worked. Okay. I don't know what, like, I don't know if the gun didn't work because it's a part of the stand, but I don't know if the gun, is the gun technically, I don't think it's part of the stand. Right? I don't think that was it. It's just these little guys and they just kick bullets. It was more of a, what he wanted, right? Or she wanted at the moment. But like, then why did that gun work? Yeah. What do you mean, what the hell is this thing's problem? You shot it in the fucking face like 5 or 6 times, dude. Like, yeah, no, I would also be sprinting at you if I survived. Are you out of your mind? It seems, is the turtle really that small? I thought it was a decent sized turtle. There's no way you should fit that in your hand. Have I always been overestimating the size of this turtle? No, he was a big boy. She has one hand in that bitch. It's probably a better way to describe that, but you know what I mean. いや、ミスター、私の方にだ。矢は奴のところに戻っているというのに、ゴールドエクスペリエンス No. レクイエムは矢に触ってしまった私をとことん始末する気だ。走れミスター。弾丸だ、ピストルズ。弾丸を込めろ。これはリボルバーじゃねえ。カートリッジの予備がいる。込め直すのに時間がかかる。Interesting. I wonder, like, all right. There's a lot of there's a lot of random discussion that can happen with this because again, they're a stand and they just work around a gun. What would they do again if they didn't work around a gun? Could they work around a slingshot? Can they work around a bow? Can they just exist? You know, like what is their initial stand power? Just by having 6 children that can not necessarily go fast, but just exist in the world and maybe kick things real good. You know? But regardless, they have knowledge of other guns. So I wonder if he did like try to like, it's like, all right, let's try shotgun, let's try machine gun, let's try, let's try sniper rifle, let's try bow and arrow, like I wonder if they did weapons training for everything, and then that's why they're like, I mean, it's common knowledge for sure, but it's just something I wanted to bring up. ボスを倒すパワーどころか結局全員の首を絞めたんじゃねえのか。やめろ。これは誰の予想も超えたことだ。それよりレクイエムを倒す方法を見つけるのだ。Well, yes and no though. Like, I think our best case scenario right now is just to follow Requiem closely and just plan out things while we're there, because I think Diavolo is still in that body technically, but like we should try to use this as best as we can, because like this is the best time to take him out, technically. Well, maybe not, because like technically he's in full, he can do whatever he wants right now. He's just gathering information, and everybody's all like kerfuffled that we're all Freaky Friday.
針と合わないんだ。金属疲労で折れたのなら面と面が合うはずなんだ。
ジョルノ、お前何が言いたいんだ。
ブチャラティもそのままの位置だ。お互い距離を取って離れるんだ。
てめえ、レクイエムが行っちまうぞ。弾丸の中にいる。
Requiem isn't alright. Let's chill out for a goddamn second. Requiem is just casually walking. I don't know fucking where, but that dude is not moving fast at all. All right, this Giorno gets me. All right, let's step back. Let's step back a little bit and let's just look around. Let's evaluate what's going on, and let's deduce.
おい、ちょっと待て。誰かがすごい力で銃をねじ切ったとでも言うつもりか。いいか、俺と
So what he did was he did his time thing to break a piece off and then erase the time of them being able to see him do that, because now we know how the stand works. Barely. I understand by concept and by idea, and I understand the motions that it works in, but there's a lot of things that, like when he killed the Narancia, right? He had to have picked him up, lifted him all the way up there, slid him on that thing, and got down and went back and hit again in like 10 seconds. He's a big dude, so he could definitely do that quickly, but that's aggressive, egregious, ostentatious even. It's just that's a lot of movement, you know. So like it's I get it. It's just the time frame and like the little small details I understand can be a little confusing, but the gist of it I understand.
ピストルズははっきりと確信している。この広場で俺とその銃に近づいた者は。
その通りだ。誰もいない。だからこそ離れるんだ。奴の射程は数メートルだからな。
ジョルノ、お前。
ナランチャが襲われた時も彼には誰も近づかなかったんだ。
Actually, they don't know. Wait, do they? God, this gets complicated again. Like, do they all know about the other personality? Because this is their first time seeing Diavolo. Well, not right now, but, you know, the last few episodes and stuff like that. So do they know about the other... Do they technically know about Doppio? And then, like, do they... I don't think they know about, like, him being, like, inside the body. Inside the soul, whatever it is, you know? But, like, if I was to guess, I would be like, hey, why don't we keep the fucking actual villain body away? Because we don't trust anything else. And then, like, I think in my situation, like, not my situation, if I was in this situation, what I would do is I would do rotations, if anything. You know, I would take the three that I'm like, hey, I'm pretty sure we're all clean, and I don't trust this fucking pink hair bitch, even though I know it's Bruno, but, you know, we don't know how the body works. I would have him, I don't know, 50 feet? I don't know. I have him quite a ways back, you know, just so I can evaluate. And then if nothing goes wrong, then we know that bitch is in there. You know what I mean? All right. Thank you. That's my plan.
何者も僕ら以外はな。ポルナレフさん、もしあなたの仮定通りボスに人格が2つあったというのなら、精神が出たり入ったりも自由にできるんだ。ディアボロはこの中の誰かに取り付いている。引っ込んでいればトリッシュには存在を感じ取られないし、今引っ込んでいるのは矢を確実に手に入れるまで待っているからだ。
Yep.
一瞬だけ出て銃を破壊したのもそのためだ。
I will say, I usually don't like in animes when this happens. And I don't know if I'm just biased or if it's just done better in JoJo's. But the reason why I never ended up finishing was Death Note is because, like, they were so good at, like, predicting each other, where I'm like, are we even going to watch the show play out, or are you just going to explain to me the whole next, like, 20 seconds, you know? But, like, in this, like, I don't know, it feels a little bit more reasonable, but he's also, like, fucking nailing it, too, so I could just be biased. But I just wanted to put that out there anyway.
くそ、なんとかしなくては。レクイエムがどんどん離れていく。ジョルのジョバーナ。
He he's not getting away. I don't know why we think this is some like Usain Bolt track star fucking yeeting himself across. This dude is casually walking at a very chill rate. I'm telling you, there is no need to rush through this shit. All right, if I was in your position, I would lay low for quite a bit of time.
この深淵連
この中の誰かに奴は隠れている。だが僕らにとって一つだけ有利な点がある。
What?
ディアボロはキングクリムゾンは繰り出せるが、今潜んでる体を完全には支配できていないことだ。
Correct. Correct.
もし奴が今潜んでる体を自由自在に操れるのなら。
Well, he has control of the stand, I would think, right? Because he was able to like, you know, kill somebody. So there is that. But yeah, I agree. But like right now, if he doesn't do anything to like mess around, he can just outlive us. You know, especially like if we would need to eat at some point. Like he has the long game if he wants to play long game.
じっと隠れてなんかいないだろうし、簡単に表に出て動けないからこそ、僕らは始末されずにまだ生きている。
Well, does that work like that? He can't manifest, but like he lifted up technically your body and then put it. Well, what?
ボスは自分の潜んでいる肉体を危険にさらすことはない。
Well,
それに生命のエネルギーは一つだ。
oh,
この亀の肉体に魂は一つしか。
oh, you can sense this. That's right. You can sense it. I didn't know if that counted as a living thing, but sure. If this works, everybody, we're gonna go in square diamond formation, whichever one you want to do, and then we're just gonna watch Giorno walk over. And then we're all just gonna be on lockdown, ready for this shit. If he can sense, that's a whole different story.
キングクリムゾンの射程距離内に
Right.
ポルナレフさんにキングクリムゾンの探知法を教わった。
Well, okay. I understand how this technique would work. It's just like very, I don't know if primal is the right word for it, but like by the time you know that he acted, like you have a very, very, very small like time frame to do that. But like what I don't understand is like once he does his action and he comes out, because like right, he can't like attack while in his motion of the ocean. Once he's out, he could be like already like mid punch at this point, right? Come out and like I mean, I guess they could still react really quickly. They all have really good reflexes, but you know, like I don't think you're gonna have time to look down, and then I guess I would just watch it like this, and then whenever I see a puddle, I do like a Donkey Kong swing and spin around in a circle or some shit.
雫の数が急に増えた瞬間が時間が消し飛んだ時だ。ああ、ただし攻撃を防げるかは運次第だが。
Yeah.
それもかろうじて一度かわせ。
I like when we align. All right, I'm a part of the team.
るかどうかだ。
絶対に俺じゃあねえ。ナランチャがやられた時。
Can we just? I know it's not the coolest thing to do, but you know, maybe we start bringing back these whatever the fuck you call them. Just in real life, you know, card gets declined. Just makes the day a little bit more dramatic, you know.
俺は最も遠くにいたんだ。
それじゃあ君から調べよう。安心するために。
おい、そこで止まれよ。近寄るなってばよ。来るな。
Really? What? Why are you being so aggressive? Unless you think that it could be in Giorno, which would be a really good way to kill somebody. You know, it would be. Honestly, I didn't even think about it. I always just think Giorno was fine. Because he could, well, technically, Diavolo cannot control anything in, like, besides himself, right? But, like, Giorno, unless he was lying about, like, oh, he doesn't have control over the bodies, and he does actually have control over Giorno, you know what I mean? And they could just be like, all right, I just gotta touch one of you and sense the soul, and once he gets to somebody, on the fence. You know, there's a big spiked fence behind them or whatever the fuck. Honestly, it would be a great way to get rid of somebody and then fucking just 1v2, I guess. I don't know.
手足にぶち込むぜ。
やめろ。俺から調べろ、ジョルノ。
That's fair. That's totally fair. Totally fair. You know, because if he's actually in that body, then he would have to kill his own body, which I'm sure he doesn't want to do. So that's a benefit from that. Two, like if she's a little schizophrenic, is she a little scary about it? It's not schizophrenic. But if she's a little, afraid for him to, kill her, Bruno's like, hey, just check me. Let's just try one, see how it is. I think it's a great decision. Bruno, I'm happy you're still here. It's a really rough situation. All right, I still don't know how the fuck this is gonna happen, like what's gonna happen in the long run. Well, technically, this could fix Bruno. Well. All right, listen, because Giorno got triple impaled, not the good kind. And once he took his body off and it was able to heal it, he was fine. Right? Well, Bruno would end up going back to his old body, which is technically undead. I just think there's a little bit of wiggle room for like a little bit of like, healing potential with like all this body switching and shit like that. But like, we'll see. All right. I get a little optimistic now, but I don't know.
早く調べろ。どんどん時間がなくなっていく。お前の言う通り、俺たちは味方によってはボスを追い詰めている。
やるしかない。そうだ。今、やるしか。
Also, I would have everybody prepped. Okay, if we are at a perfect distance, again, if we're in our diamond and Giorno's walking up to our first contender here, to touch him, I would have the gun lined up and also watching the pool of blood, because at least the pool of blood comes out. You can shoot, like, you could be prepared. You might have a quick enough reaction to potentially do something. Maybe. I don't know. It's like the time, like when we get into time abilities for stands, it just, for me, I'm like, how the fuck are we gonna react quick enough? Because I feel like we cannot, but maybe. Unless Trish uses a spice go to like make somebody's body rubbery where like they couldn't do damage. I don't know if she could do it on a body or it can be an object, whatever it may be. I'm ranting. There's a lot of different potential here. Let's keep going.
誰かがやられる。
お互い近づいたら。
Yep. Here we fucking go. Using Trish? Really? That's what it looks like. And that's why she couldn't send him, because he's in there. Right? Also, that noise coming out, it's like a fucking oil rig on the...
させて近づいたのだ。娘よ、この時を待ってい。
What the fuck just happened? Go back.
トリッシュ、お前だ。奴は一瞬だけお前の体ごと移動させて。
Okay, no, it's exactly what we already discussed. Okay, I don't know if there was like a triple layer to this shit. No, he made it pretend like it was in him, but yeah, it came from Trish's body when we saw that little like aura come out. Right, we're fine.
近づいたのだ。娘よ、この時を待っていた。スタンドを出してくれるこの時を。
This is wild. Wild. Okay, alright, cool. Now we got the full frame here. Okay, so you were in wow. I could have sworn you were going to be in your own body still. That's crazy. His body has died, which means Doppio has died. No, that's really it? Doppio's just gone, dude? Oh, God, he was just a sweet little vessel. He didn't know any better. I really hope we get, like, a little bit more backstory. Just, like, I just want to know how this fucking works, man. All right, yeah. So they switched, Trish and Mista switched, but also Diavolo got swapped into that body, which I guess confirms that like it swapped all the souls around, which means Diavolo was a separate soul from Doppio all along, which I don't know if that's like, if that just means it's a like a bipolar kind of thing. You know what I mean? Where you have two different personalities. You know what I mean? Obviously, there's a different version of that. But like, that means Doppio and Diavolo are really separate people. Obviously, correct? But when does that come into play? Where did that come from? You know, was Doppio the one that ended up, you know, falling in love with her mom? Or was that technically Diavolo? Wait, so he was in Trish's body, but now he's not in Trish's body? This is where it's getting a little bit more complicated.
奴は時を消し飛ばしながら走ってる。弾丸のコースは予知されているんだ。
おい、矢を奪われたら俺たちの負けだ。
Well, no, that right, no, that was fine. He wasn't in Trish's bot. No, what the fuck? He shot the gun because Trish was in. Okay, so no, I just got confused because I was calling it Trish, but like, no, but like, did it not come from? It gets all timey-wimey and like weird when everybody's into everybody else's bodies. I'm just gonna move on because obviously he's moving.
Requiem の前方に伸びてるはず。つまりこの影はその人間個人個人が見る影なのだ。レクイエムの謎はこれだ。一人一人の精神を操れるのはこれが理由なのだ。
That is fucking wild that you figured that shit out. You're explaining it to me and I don't even really I can't really comprehend exactly what the fuck is going on. Let's go back a little bit more. In Bruno's eyes, the shadow is stretching in front of okay. So it's almost like we are all pushing the shadow around, right? Every person perceives I wish that the chat was a little bit higher. Perceives the shadow differently, right, depending on their perspective. Correct.
その人間個人個人が見る影なのだ。レクイエムの謎はこれだ。一人一人の精神を操れるのはこれが理由なのだ。
This is how it controls people's souls. Okay. So you're saying the shadow is the defensive mark? I don't know how to word that properly because again, this is I feel like I should have studied for this. So either we attack the shadow or we have to do something different with a little bit more perspective, or it's almost like a sundial, right? It's kind of like the very basic idea of what the fuck this is. That's fucking wild. That's very interesting. Oh my god. So everybody's had like a little sun behind them. And if you blow up the sun, then you get rid of the mechanic. Honestly, really cool idea. My brain is not ready for this today. Holy shit. I love this.
下っ端のカス能力がお前ごときの朝知恵で金
You did not need to be that fucking rude about it. It's so disrespectful. So disrespectful. Honestly, I want to go back and watch that again. Every now and then we just get like little tiny beats of like I don't want to make it sound rude by saying an animation quality increase, but like obviously there's like it's more smooth or more detailed in these like random bits, right? And it was this little like gopher looking. You know what I mean?
時を飛ばして落下地点をいくら予知しても、
Right.
俺の方が矢に近い。
Fair.
お前さえ娘よお前さえ生まれていなければ恐怖とはまさしく過去からやって
I mean, you could have prevented that if you were just a responsible little being. Maybe if you were just a little bit more responsible. I don't know if you really wanted a child back then, but hey, you really wanted something, didn't you? And that wasn't responsibility.
我が手に
Wild.
貫いたぞ矢のパワーは この運命からの贈り物は
This is gonna answer some interesting questions and then make me think of 1,000 more. Alright, but now we get to see exactly what happens after you stab yourself. And who can control it, what does it do to your stand? Let's find the fuck out.
レクイエムの破壊の仕方を
Right?
頭の後ろいや個人個人の自分の精神の背後にあるこの何かを
It's a really cool idea. Again, I just wanted to give a shout out to like I don't think I would have ever figured that out, you know? Unless there were like hints of it, like if there were shots where like the shadows were pointing in like a different direction, then like yeah, I'm sure like you could pick up on that kind of thing and then try to decide. There was not. I did not pick up on that if there was that there.
ドリッシュの魂が
ドリッシュだミスターみんな見ろブチャラティギリギリだが戻ってきたぞ
Okay. Do we not have anything in motion for when he comes back to his soul? He's gonna be in this body and he's gonna come straight for that fucking arrow, right? Are we prepared? Do we have any kind of trap ready? You know? Do we have like a zipper that was in place? Do we have like, you know, gold experience, like about to throw like a haymaker right at this guy? All right. Yuda, bah, fucking, well, it's Muda, right? Muda, and just, bah, and just decapitate him. Can we, wah, wah. I'm just saying, once he comes back, we have a very quick opportunity to beat the shit out of him. And that's what I'm hoping for in the next like 3 seconds. Oh? Is this like the farewell?
あとはジョルノ
No.
任せたぞ
No.
ブチャラティ
Yeah.
あんたの体は
Yeah.
今コロッセオにある
It's
あ
not,
の体は
it's not even a body, dude. That body is just, it got shot 3 times. There's like barely any blood coming out of it anymore. Look how beautiful he looks. Can we just leave him here?
ジョルノ
Giorno.
俺は生き返ったんだ故郷ネアポリスでお前と出会った時組織を裏切った時になゆっくりと死んでいくだけだった俺の心は生き返ったんだ
You gave him a lot of time. You know, because if him dying all the way back there without like being able to like help at all with this, with this other endeavor, it was gonna be real shit, right? It was gonna be exhausting. But like the fact that like he made it to like the last like 3 episodes, like he juiced the hell out of that thing, man. Good for him. How are we? What are you talking about? That's a sick shot. And thank you. I wasn't really for another. I really couldn't do it this time. I mean, I did, but like, I like that we eased into this one. So this is Chariot potential A, range A, durability A. I mean, that's 50-50. It is a very powerful stand, though. You know, I mean, it walked. It did not fight really well. I mean, it felt a little bit. It's not like, well, I guess he just sprinted like a normal person. You know what I mean. But 3 A's and 3 E's, not the worst in the world. Very, very cool stand. I kind of forgot that the original plan too was to make a good gang and get rid of all the drugs and stuff. And now we're kind of trying to save the world. And we don't have much of the gang left. You know, I think we lost 3. Yeah, we're down quite a bit.
我が娘よお前が逃げる気だと言った俺に対する侮辱の言葉で我が誇りは失われずに済んだ
Well, I guess that's one way of looking at it for sure, but like, you really got some problems there, dude. All right, but hey, at least I think you're technically making the right call on your behalf, of course, but this is gonna get a little sloppy.
このキングクリムゾンエピタフの意外な余地を。
It's beautiful that's through his hair though, right? Can we just I don't know if it always has to be through the hair. It'd be like epitaph is a cool ability in itself, but having to only see through your hair would be like a very weird part of the stand, you know? Did he? I just have so many questions about Diavolo. Did he always have both, or did he start with one and then he like developed another personality by seeing so many different possibilities, and that's where he developed a second version of himself for like always choosing a different path or planning for a different path or some shit like that?
決断はつかなかった。おかげで矢が地面に落ちる余地を見ることができたよ。ジョルノ・ジョバーン、この未熟な新入りが。
Why? I make fun of every single person that does this. Good, bad, neutral, whatever. Do not gloat until the job is fucking done, dude. It is the same people that shit talk in video games, and then you get your ass beat afterwards, all right? Punch them through the chest first, or do whatever you have to do. Then, well, Giorno, you pathetic piece of shit. What the fuck you think? And you pace back and forth, and then he's like, I planned this all along. And I don't know, snakes out of the sky. I don't fucking know what's going on. He hit it with something so it's gonna return back to him or some shit, right? Oh wait, no, that was part 4. Part 4 is where he was able to like bring the piece back to where it belonged. You know, the heal thing. JOJO'S game.
待ってミスター。あの砕けたところから覗いているものは、あれはまさか。
Well, I mean, they both did stuff like that though, which is kind of interesting, right? Because Josuke, when he healed somebody, I remember because like he threw like a rock out the window, but then it had like the blood on it or some shit like that, and it was able to go back and hit him. Right there was that. But then also when he heals stuff, or sometimes like they still come back to like the source. It's weird that it's almost 2 parts in a row where that kind of idea happens, right? Am I confusing it with something else, or are we like, yeah, you know what that is? You know, they both kind of do something like that. You know what I mean? Oh. Oh. Yeah. Okay. I'm surprised I've never gotten spoiled of a different form of his stand. Look how beautiful he looks too. Excellent job. Oh, love the show. Love the design, everything. He's got fucking Frieza on his side. This is awesome.
エクスペリエンスは矢のパワーの先に行ったわ。
What the fuck? I think we jumped animes here. That is definitely, you know, because like we usually have to get kind of fisticuffy a little bit, and there's some abilities, but he's just like shoots a fucking laser. Fucking goes right through his fucking head. Sick.
脅威ではあるが余地ができている。俺には乗り越えられないことではない。運命は俺を頂点に選んでくれたのだ。
Just again, how sick is that? Fucking Stan shows up, and then the hair goes, and then you see the fucking how beautiful is this illustrated? God damn it.
予測できるぞ。このカストモの動きが。ゴールドエク
His whole fucking what do you mean? I thought he can't interact with shit. But I guess he's not interacting. He's just throwing his blood that he's already bleeding. Right? So if he's in his pause mode, whatever we want to call it, right? His erasing time mode, he can't interact with things, but he can still bleed, and the blood should not move at a velocity, right? The blood shouldn't really technically go anywhere after it's not a part of him, but it's
未来は我がキングクリムゾンの動きを選んでくれた。終わった。
What the fuck? What the actual fuck is happening right now? You saw a vision. Okay. Okay. I'm not going to try to understand what his like new Requiem ability, whatever it will be. But basically, I think Giorno allowed him to see so much to the point where he got so much confidence to use most of his time to get to where he needed to be, to the point where he was about to, like, again, do the actual damage. But why'd you punch in the face if you saw yourself going through? Doesn't matter. And then once he used most of his ability, he was about to come out, or that, I don't even want to call it a millisecond, when the millisecond he came out, Giorno activated his Requiem, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. What the fuck? Yeah, one time I took too much of a fun tree, and this is exactly how I was seeing things. I remember this extremely vividly. It was not as entertaining at the time, but this is not an unfamiliar experience here.
これがレクイエムだ。お前が見ているものは確かに真実だ。確かにお前の能力が実際に起こす動きを見ている。しかし実際に起こる真実に到達することは決してない。
I don't think I'm smart enough for this part. This part has been extremely complicated, and I think Giorno transcended with this Requiem. It's like, it's too much. All right, if this started happening to me, I would just have to accept whatever the fuck was gonna happen. There's no point of me that like would be able to overthink or think my way out of this to any capacity. You will never arrive upon the truth of what is fated to transpire. But it showed him punching you, so like, he could see the future, but like also he didn't.
Giorno Giovanna! お前には死んだことを後悔する時間をも与えん！何を喋っているんだ俺は。
Before I keep, we're right at the end of this. This has been, oh my, I love the end of this part. Again, don't know what's happening, but like, is the Requiem keeping him in this time loop? So like, his ability, he could see the future and he can erase time and all that shit. But the Requiem is like, hey, you'll never make it to that point. I'm going to keep you in this little 5-second loop, whatever the little time slot that he's in right now. He's going to stay there until he's fucking dead. Is what I get from this, at least.
勝利に向かうはずなんだ!
That was so sick, though. Oh my god, I fucking love it. I wasn't expecting him to get the shit kicked down a little bit, but like, dude, we got quite a finale next week. Again, real quick, before you guys leave, before you go on and watch a different video, whatever you may be, thank you for joining me on this journey. This has been an absolute delight. I love the show so much. So much. What a sick experience this has been. Oh, let's finale next week. Let's do it.